Hey there, fun food fans! It's Karen Ricks, head chef of our kitchen classroom. And for those of you who saw the last video, wondering what on earth we were going to do with this enormous pile of garlic that we got, well, I wanted to show you just how incredibly simple it can be to add that beautiful, rich, luscious, almost roasted kind of mellow garlic flavor to all of your dishes. Whether you're hunkering down and doing lots of quarantine baking or you just want a touch of garlic in your life. We like more than a touch. So I wanted to be sure and share this incredible recipe. Super simple and incredibly delicious. A great way to add a big punch of slow food flavor into your kitchen classroom. It's called garlic confit. Let me show you what we started with here. So I like to talk about the fact that we are able to source a lot of amazing, sustainably grown local ingredients, and especially the produce here in Albania. It's amazing. Well, we like to get garlic like this, not just by the clove or by the head. We are actually measuring garlic by the kilo around here. And I just had another big bundle of garlic like this that we went through the other day. And a friend of mine asked me, what are you doing with all that garlic? How can you eat so much in such a short period of time? Well, that's what I'm here to show you today. This big bundle of garlic, it kind of looks like a lot, but once you break it down, it's not really so much at all. Now, if you've ever been concerned that peeling or separating lots of heads of garlic like that and peeling and chopping or all of those different things, if that sounds like a pain, I want to direct you first to our video where our little Sue teaches you exactly how to peel lots of garlic, because we have sat down and tried and tested a number of different methods for peeling large quantities of garlic in a short time. Now, we're not in a rush. All of this wonderful extra time that the lockdown has given us here in Tirana, Albania, makes for some incredibly relaxing days. So our little Sue and I hung out, just chilling, watching some Netflix, chit-chatting, and all the while we were steadily peeling away at our garlic. And so what that gave us was this big pile that you see down on the stove. Come take a look. All right, so this is our garlic. This pot is a small one. It's maybe 1 liter total. And the whole thing is completely full of nothing but peeled garlic cloves. Now, for this particular method, we didn't do anything that would smash or break up the garlic too much, because for this application, we like the garlic pieces to be relatively whole. So we've got lots of pieces, large and small. And this recipe is incredibly simple because it really only has 2 ingredients: our garlic and our olive oil. So I'm going to pour the olive oil into the pot here, and I just want enough to cover the cloves completely. Now, like I said, this thing is full of garlic, so that's going to be quite a bit of oil. But the wonderful thing about this is not only are we going to have some amazing garlic when we're finished here, but all of the oil is going to be garlic flavored as well. So here we are now with a pot that's full of garlic, and the oil is just covering the surface. We're going to turn up the heat here on the stove. And I do not want this to come all the way up to a boil. In fact, before it does that, before it has a chance to do that, I am going to turn the volume or the heat way down low. And all I want to see are teeny tiny little bubbles which come up but don't even break when they hit the surface. Again, I'm starting this on high because I want to start to bring the temperature up, but then we're going to bring it way down. And as you'll see, it's not going to take too long. Now, what this does, not only is it heating the olive oil through, but it's going to do this process of confit, which is really just one of those fancy cooking terms from French that means to cook in oil. And what it's going to do is It helps to break down all of those stinky sulfides that give garlic that harsh and kind of bitter, acrid taste if you bite into it raw. It mellows all that out, and we get that wonderfully smooth, almost roasted garlic kind of a taste. In fact, in my opinion, the garlic can actually become almost sweet. Believe it or not, this was the very recipe that we used to make our garlic ice cream. That was just like last year, wasn't it, guys? I think it was. I'll have to link that video to this in this recipe, because this is what you want to use to make garlic ice cream. Yes, garlic can be sweet. This particular use, I am going to add a pinch of salt just to help bring out the garlicky flavor. But, that process is starting to happen. I told you it wouldn't take too long. Come on over, you can see up close. What we're starting to see now is the teeniest of bubbles that are just starting to break the surface, like just barely, and come up. They bubble up from the bottom. The teeny tiny little bubbles come up to the top, but then they don't explode and burst on the surface like when something is boiling. So now that we see those bubbles, we know it's time to turn the temperature way down. Here on my stovetop, that's going to be a low. We'll just turn that down. And that is where this garlic will sit. And it's going to sit here, and it's going to just kind of confit away for 20, 30, 45 minutes. Remember, this isn't so super hot. We're not boiling away the oil or the garlic. All we want to do is let these wonderful garlic cloves rest and bathe in the lovely warm oil until they break down and soften. And let me show you what that looks like. This is actually all that's left. Can you see just a few teeny tiny little cloves that are left here in the bottom of this container? That is our last version of this garlic olive oil. And all I want to do here is fish out one little clove so that you can see just how amazing they become. Here we go. Let me dig in here. Take out one clove. All right, and what you're going to see here in this tiny little garlic clove is just how soft and tender it is. Can you see it squish in my fingers? It's the texture of softened butter. And with just the teeniest little pinch of salt, this is the most delicious little bite of garlic you could ever have. Oh, it is so sweet and tender. The garlic flavor is mild, but it is distinctly garlic. You take 10, 15 cloves of this and smash them onto a big piece of toast. Oh, best garlic toast ever, by far. Oh. All right, let me close that up before I dig in and eat the rest of them. And that's literally it for the garlic confit. These cloves are going to sit here in this oil, and they're just going to teeny tiny bubble away for the next half an hour or so. Then I'll set it aside to let it cool a little bit before I put it in a jar, and it'll live in the refrigerator. Now, this is the point where people ask me, how long can you store that in the refrigerator? And I have to tell you, quite honestly, I have heard other chefs say that you can keep it for a week, 2 weeks even. Ours has never lasted longer than just a couple of days, because once we make this, we are eating garlic on everything. And because it doesn't have that harsh bite, we don't smell like we've got garlic coming out of our ears either. It's delicious. And I can tell you from my own experience that I know it does just fine for 2 or 3 days in the refrigerator. Beyond that, I don't know. That's when we'll be making some more with that next big bundle of garlic. What is your favorite recipe for using lots and lots of garlic? Do you like that sharp bite of a raw garlic clove, or do you prefer the more mellow sweetness of a roasted garlic? Whether you fall into the category of the former or the latter, I know you're going to love this garlic confit. Sit back, peel a whole bunch of garlic. I promise you, as soon as you taste this, you're going to wish you had peeled twice as much, and it is so incredibly worth it. I can't wait to see what you do with your garlic confit. Be sure to join us in our Play with Your Food community so that you can share all the wonderful garlicky creations that you're making in your kitchen classroom, wherever you are in the world. I can't wait to hear from you. I'll see you later.